Metta, thank you so much for joining us here
Absolutely.
today. We just wanted to start off and talk a little bit about your journey. So, starting off in Queensbridge and then going all the way through to here we are today and all of your successes in the NBA. I guess when you look back at it from the beginnings in Queensbridge, a lot of it sort of, from the streets, it's survival. And I think you mentioned in Quiet Storm, it was either drugs or sport. How much of that impacted your career? How did that affect, positively or negatively, your career?
I think it's all positive when you're talking about when you look at the planets and you look how far we are from like our next star. A lot of things we go through on this environment, it's not as important when you think about it.
Putting it in perspective.
Yeah, unless you go through any personal physical pain, which is you know anything that you overcome. I don't think is worth stressing about or feeling like the world revolves around you. You've been through the worst possible things. Everybody should feel sad for you. I think everything does happen for a reason. Sometimes you can go through things in the moment. It's very frustrating. But as long as I feel like with those experiences that I had, it makes me want to give more. And the more you give, the less likely somebody else is going to go through. What I've been through. So that's now that I'm older, 39 years old. Now I'm older. I look at things way differently.
That's great. That's great. Yes, but I guess being able to, what you can go through, being able to pass that advice on to a lot
Yeah,
of other people and
yeah.
support them in that perspective. What would you say was some of the key skills that you were able to apply? I guess getting to the top of your game, be it in the business world as a professional athlete, there's a lot of resilience, there's a lot of just perseverance. What were some of those skills that got you to where you?
Some of the skills, I mean, definitely hard work, and anybody that's ever made it in business or sports, or even keeping your family intact. I think all those things take work, and it takes discipline. On a basketball court, training in the summer times, paying attention to your coaches, having grit. In business, it's detail, paying attention. Understanding that the work you put in today might not show any results tomorrow, but in 10 years it will, such as an Uber investment. Family, getting past the hurdles of temptation, getting past the hurdles of the everyday norm, which can get boring, with the understanding that if you get past the hump, instead of being with your partner for 10 years or 5 years or 2 years, you're there with them for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. So the skill of that I had on the court was every day work and pay attention to the details. And it's good that now I'm able to apply those to different parts of my life.
What were some of the most defining moments over the course of your career?
Some of the most defining moments was adversity is always a defining moment. Um, so you can face adversity on the court or off the court. And I think facing suspensions,
Yeah.
that's a lot of adversity. Being suspended because you're not with your team and you're losing money, losing games. How do you deal with losing? And a lot of people don't deal with losing the right way. I was one of those people that didn't deal with losing. They call them sore losers. So there was so many things that's playing in the NBA, so many challenges. You had to figure it out.
Was it what you thought it would be like?
It's great. I mean, when you go to the NBA, you don't really know what it's going to be. You got a perception. You watch it on television, but all you want to do is play basketball and make money. You're not really thinking about everything else, unless you're that type of person who does. I'm sure there are people out there like that. So for me, it was everything I wanted it to be. I was happy. I had a great time in the NBA, quite honestly.
That's great. Well, you had an amazing career. I think going all the way through back to Malice in the Palace in 2004, and then through to the victory with the Lakers in 2010. What changed during that time? What was, I guess, a lot of your stories about comeback and that sort of transformation and resilience. What was it? What what happened in those sort of 6 years or so between that time and your comeback?
Well, I, I don't necessarily look at it as a comeback because, like I said, down here on this planet, everything is driven by money. You don't have money, it's going to be really hard unless you live in Hawaii and you're growing fresh fruit or something. It's going to be hard for you to live. But when you are just talking about you and yourself and how you are connected with the air, with the trees, with the animals, with the water, with everything that's natural, money is not going to come into play. You can't take it with you. It frees you up to do a couple things here, but it doesn't necessarily free your mind, or it doesn't necessarily make you a better person.
Yeah.
Because you can be a good person by yourself, but are you doing anything for others? So when you look at that, and like I said earlier, if you was in, I think one of the furthest stars from us, besides our sun, is like billions of years from us. But we can see it. But we don't know what's happening on these other places. They don't know what's happening down here.
Yeah.
So you're not as important as you think. Also, the next person is, I think that the next person is as important. Treat everybody with respect. Yeah. And then also you are important, but not if it's all about you. So when I think about things like that, anything I've been through, it's fine. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Whichever aliens are out there in this beautiful galaxy and millions and billions of galaxies that we have, you're not the most important thing out there.
And how did you get to that point of, I guess, realization? Was it a sort of a major point for you, or just over time? I know you do a lot of meditation and things like that.
Well, that analogy the analogy I was just talking to you about, comparing what other planets are thinking about us or not, don't even care. I thought about that a long time. My dad's into science, and I'm just like, when you look at the Earth from, somebody that created a picture, actually just look at the globe. You can't even see yourself. So your problems is something of the past.
Yeah.
And moving forward, you want to give a feeling that makes other people feel good. So that at this point, that's kind of how I feel. Not every day I don't feel like that. Some days it's all about me. I want to go shopping.
Yeah.
I want something nice.
Gotta have self-care.
Because we live here on this materialistic planet.
Yeah.
Well, not planet. We're materialistic people.
Yeah.
The planet is not materialistic, but
Yeah.
But when you think about things like that, it just keeps everything in perspective. You want to always keep everything in perspective.
Yeah.
Especially for the future. If you don't give off that energy to the future, then they're not going to be in tune with life and thinking beyond this atmosphere. You want them to vision and think beyond our solar system, and they should be having big, big dreams. Yeah. And if we're not giving that energy to our youth, then they're not going to have big, big dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You talked a lot about mental health over the years, and I guess a lot of that has been getting to the point where you're trusting people, and where you can be vulnerable enough to, share struggles or experiences with other people. What would you say to anyone else that's potentially coming up through the ranks, be it in sports or other, and, struggling in any type of, situation sort of personally? What advice would you give them?
The key is being in tune with yourself. So if you're going through anything, anger management, marriage issues, spending problems, sex addiction, drug addiction, I think you have to get in tune with yourself. And you got to slow down. Everything's happening at such a fast pace, especially with technology.
Yeah.
You got to get in tune with yourself, slow down. Sometimes slow down means put your phone down for 2 days, 3 days, go to the beach, walk everywhere. Don't drive your car something that's 2 miles away, or even something that's 10 miles away. Take some time for yourself, get in tune, connect with good energy.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that'll help. Some people they never had a chance to spend alone time with themselves.
Yeah.
So if you never spend alone time with yourself, you're never going to know who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think self-awareness is key.
Yeah,
isn't
definitely.
It? And it can be uncomfortable at first to, spend time alone, sort of get to know yourself. It's a
And
it
I'm
can
not
be
saying
daunting
be,
for some.
yes, I'm not saying be a loner, but get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Be very comfortable. Be very comfortable with who you are. But on television, we push one image, and we're hoping that this one commercial shoot of this person affects the, sales or outcome and affects all the millions of people. So sometimes everybody wants to be like this one person they saw on television. When at the end of the day, it was a producer or somebody who was saying, do this,
Yeah.
pose
Yeah.
like this. Now everybody on TV want to pose like this. You got to just take that with a grain of salt and always trust yourself.
Yeah. There's a lot of influence out there. And I guess to your point too, with social media, everything, particularly when you're in the spotlight, everything gets amplified. Your successes, your failures, your struggles, and obviously even more so in this day and age in social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in the day, where was social media for you back in 2000?
Well, back in the day, I like social media now. It's not that everything is amplified now, but it's good because back in the days, we had Channel 2, right? Yeah, Channel 2. Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, Channel 7, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And then we got Channel 13, and things start to get staticky when it gets up there. And those are the only outlets. So if you had any issue,
Yeah.
if you wanted to protest or if you wanted to talk about something, if you wasn't on those networks, it wasn't going to happen unless you did things like groundwork, if you're physically there.
Yeah.
Now, you can say anything, Facebook, Twitter, Vine, which is dead, Snapchat, which is kind of not
TikTok.
TikTok, which is okay. But there's so many different places you can get your message across, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If used right, I guess it can be a
Yeah.
can be a good thing, and it can also
I
be
personally don't like it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like social media personally, but it's too addicting
Yeah.
and it's a trap.
Yeah. It
You
can
know,
really
is
be
there-
a trap.
Because it's like I can just do anything. No, you cannot just do anything.
Yeah, I guess for a lot of people, it can, people see a highlight reel and it's not always reality. And then it's, your expectations of what it's going to take,
Yeah.
to be successful is different to reality. And I think that
Yeah.
sometimes doesn't set people up for success.
Yeah.
So in the final in 2012, when you were interviewed afterwards, you said, Kobe passed me the ball. He never passes me the ball. And I guess when in life, when you're wanting to get past that ball, especially if it's a Kobe ball,
Yeah.
it's about that strategic positioning, but then it's being able to execute, as well. Would you agree with that?
Well, if you're Phil Jackson and you're teaching the triangle offense, that's our life, and he's putting you in a position in life to succeed, which is spots on the floor that have the appropriate spacing and angles. So when Kobe did pass the ball at the top of the key, I was on the wing. I was spaced 10 to 15 feet away from him. So everybody's have their duties and tasks and to-do lists. And Kobe could have went to the left. He could have shot it. He could have passed it to Lamar Odom in the corner, and he just happened to pass it to me because I was right there. And then when I caught the ball, I'm not a surveyor. Like LeBron James, he surveys.
Yeah.
I don't survey, so I just caught the ball and I just stuck to some teachings that Chuck Person taught me. Jab right, come back, shoot. And it was things that I've rehearsed. I don't even know how many thousands of times I did a jab shot. So it felt very natural.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And then to see it all come through on the day is just at that time. Can you
Yeah.
explain what that feels like and what that felt like when you're at your best and when you have a win, something like that? Is it this euphoric flow state? What does it feel like?
It feels good to be able to, as a kid, you want to win a championship in the NBA. And to do it is pretty crazy. And to not only do it, but have a big role. Because that game could have easily been something where I had 2 points, which is okay, whatever. I was lucky enough to have 13 points over my playoff average. I think I averaged 7 points in a big game. So For me, the fans of LA love it. The energy is amazing, but that energy is only because when I shot the ball, it went into a basket in Los Angeles, and I cannot let that define me. You understand? I cannot go on any more days happy about that.
Wow.
I need to be happy about
Interesting.
the people being happy, happy about me being happy, happy about, people are trying to reverse the bad weather through doing good things and producing good things for the environment. That stuff you should be happy about. Be happy for others. You can't let too many positive moments affect you, and you can't let negative moments
Yeah.
affect you.
Yeah.
And I learned that through, psychology,
Yeah.
kind of be even keeled, have balance. And a perfect example is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard from the Toronto Raptors, now LA Clipper. Lots of balance. Lots of balance.
How would you describe success or happiness? What does that mean for you now?
Well, success to me means it's kind of grouped. It's weird. Success is not only about you. It's about what we're doing as a group, as people. Ultimate success is bigger than making a big shot or somebody signing a big $1 billion deal.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much money you have, somebody else is always suffering. So big success is when multiple jobs is being created. Lots of people are happy. Mental health services is available for people. That's big success. Instead of
For the greater good.
the top 1%, top
Yeah.
1% is making all the decisions. That's not too much success. Now, if you're a trillionaire worth 200 billion, maybe that's success for you, but not for everybody else.
What are you most proud of? Is it
Most proud of my children. Yeah.
great? That's great. So what are
Most
they
proud of
up
my
to these
children.
days?
They chilling, they one's going back to college.
Basketballers?
2 ballers.
Yeah.
One's going back to college, so that's 3 kids, and I got another kid that's getting ready for college.
Oh,
I started early.
exciting.
So
Yeah. Your first kid at 17, was it?
my first kid came when I was 17. Yeah.
Wow.
I was
Wow.
17 when my first baby came.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty young.
That's awesome. I guess that's like, becoming a dad or going into the NBA, starting your own business. I guess there's a lot of things that you can't necessarily prepare yourself for. Well, you can to a certain degree.
You
Do you
can't
agree?
prepare for being a dad. You can't, not for a 17-year-old, you can't prepare.
No.
No. Yeah, it's really hard. But we did it. I had a lot of
That's
help. Their mom really helped a lot because I wasn't changing the diapers. I wasn't getting the milk. I wasn't taking them to the hospital. The mom did all that. So without the mom, I don't know how it would have been harder.
Yeah.
It would have been harder if she demanded that I get more involved in changing the diapers. It would have been really hard for me. So
And what age did you get into the NBA? How old was your?
I was 19
Baby.
when I got into the NBA. So
Wow.
my first
Your
baby was
2-year-old.
2, and my second baby was 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my third baby came 2 years later.
It's a lot
My
of
fourth baby.
responsibility for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of responsibility.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you had a good support network and a good environment.
Like
around
I
you.
was lucky enough to, have a good family that was helping me with my babies.
Yep.
Because if it wasn't for the family helping me with the babies, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And lastly, I just wanted to ask you around coaching. Any professional athlete, is coached.
Mm-hmm.
What? How important is having a good coach, and how important is it to be coachable as a professional athlete?
Being coachable is very important. What I tell people is this: the player is always smarter than the coach. No matter what a coach does, you're not God. You're not some amazing alien. You have no superpowers. You're just a person. Same person as the other person. What a real coach has is they have experience. So they've seen kind of what works and they can help.
Yeah.
But the best coach is always going to be the player to me. And the harder you participate or the harder you go, the harder you work, you're gonna be able to answer more questions. So if I'm giving 100%, I'm trying to win this game. I did everything I can, and it didn't work. I can go home and ask myself, what could I have done better? Next time I go out there and do it better. But if you don't give 100%, you're not gonna even know what to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you give 100%, I'm the coach that helps me because my players is giving 100%, they're gonna win. So my job is easier as a coach.
That's right.
And you always need good talent to win. It's very hard to win with people who lack passion and people who lack talent. So the players are always going to be the best coach
Yeah.
all the time.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
It's great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
Absolutely.
so
Thanks for having me
much.
on your show. And good luck to you.
Appreciate it.